It's been an interesting couple of years out in the Bay. Fullback Bruce Miller for the 49ers, and he's with us here on Tiki and Tierney. What's happening, Bruce? How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How you guys doing?
Doing okay, man. I guess the first thing, and having been around Jim Harbaugh a little bit, he is interesting, amazing, crazy, a million adjectives for Jim.
Awesome as well.
Awesome. We love him. We miss him. Tom Sula is kind of like the gym coach, right? At least from the outside looking in. And Chip Kelly seems to be in the very unique shelf. How in the shopping aisle, how different does the complex seem right now than, say, with Jim, Tom Sula, and, of course, Jim Harbaugh?
Yeah, I mean, they're all a little bit different, but I would say the dynamic there is a little bit the same, just what they expect from us. They hold us to a high standard, both on and off the field, so that's very similar. I guess the only real differences are really, scheme and game plan and things like that. But, as far as the coaching and what they expect from us has been pretty similar.
Now, Bruce, we all know about the philosophies that Chip Kelly has. Are you guys buying into it?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, just from the off season and spring, the way things went, I think guys are definitely buying in. We had a great competitive off season program, and I think all around the locker room guys have bought in and are really trying to do the things that have been asked of them.
Jim, I want to circle back. Pardon me, Bruce. I want to circle back to what you said about the expectation, and obviously Tiki lived this, having been a really good player for the Giants, as you know. So from the football point of view, from the playbook point of view, that's a given. But what I want to do is take me on the field, because there's a perception, and Harbaugh was very collegiate. That's back at Michigan, very energetic. Again, I don't really know what Tom Sula was, but it seems like with Chip Kelly, it's a little robotic. It's almost like it lacks fun. I know it's early to get a read on him, but for us looking at Chip Kelly, it doesn't seem like he has a lot of fun. Are we off base with that? I mean,
no, I think,
what's the story?
Yeah, I mean, that's off base. I mean, he might not show it as much, but just working with him through the off season, there's some energy, there's some enthusiasm there, and we just had a lot of fun with what he brought in and what he's doing with our offense. I mean, we were having a blast with that. So there's some fun there, and I think that'll show a little bit more as we get going. But I think that's just his personality to be a little bit more reserved.
Okay, you're talking to Bruce Miller of the Niners, their fullback. And, Andrew Luck got paid, and he got paid a lot of money, and he's a terrific quarterback, and you know as well as I do, whether it was Alex Smith early on who was doing well, and then Kaepernick took over the job and did well for you guys as well. Without a quarterback, it's hard to really have a shot. So I ask you right now, Bruce, in your mind, who's the quarterback? Is it Gabbert or is it Kaepernick?
Yeah, I'm not really sure right now. I can't answer that question. What I do know is that we're in a good position right now where we have two guys that we feel that can lead this offense and lead our football team, and that can make plays for us and have done a good job in the past. So we're excited about that, and then we'll have a heck of a quarterback competition coming up.
Yeah, no, you always love competition, but, from a journalist standpoint or whatever, radio show host standpoint, we got to ask the question, you've played with both. You've been there for a long time now, holding on with a position that I would love to see come back, but is disappearing around the league. So kudos to you on that. But who do you guys feel most comfortable with? You played with both. Cap had some great games, but he had some bad ones, and then we don't know about the other guys. So who do you guys prefer?
Yeah, I mean, we prefer them both. They
come
both
on.
done a good job for us. I can't tell you that I would prefer one than the other, but both really good friends of mine and have done a good job for us. So I just wish the best for both of them.
You're obviously in a tough spot. You don't want to commit to one, and I get that. Let me ask you this, though, about Kaepernick, because the perception here, Bruce, is that he's a little detached from his teammates, that he's a little bit aloof, that he's kind of on the outside looking in. Is he one of the guys? Is he fully respected and embraced in that locker room right now, today?
Absolutely. And just the way that he acts around the locker room, I've always had a great working relationship with Cap, great friends off the field, and I've never got that perception from him of being. Now, his personality is another one that is a little bit more reserved and to himself around the building. And, we understand that and recognize that. But as long as he's doing what he has to do to lead our football team, then everybody's okay with that.
Yeah, no, you're right, Bruce. And a few short years ago, you guys were in the Super Bowl, and you wrote a pretty good blog about it. going from where you were to being the starting fullback in the Super Bowl. But expectations, I think, have changed. Where do you guys see the expectations for 2016 for the San Francisco 49ers? Because to be honest, outside looking in, it's not high.
Right. And, those are our same expectations. We know that, maybe outside of our building, we might people might not think that we're capable of achieving those goals, but we know what we have in there, and we're going to keep working towards that goal. And we've seen that, coming from in 2011, the year before, I don't think they had that good of a year. So we're just going to keep striving towards that goal. We want to win Super Bowls and win championships, and we feel like we have the team to do it.
Bruce, the perspective, and, I share this with no due respect right now, is and the league is incredibly cyclical. Tiki knows that. You know that. Reference to success with Harbaugh, and now you try to build yourself back up. But the perception is that the Raiders right now are starting to run the Bay Area a little bit here, and the Niners kind of switch spots, and that's very rarely the case, knowing that dynamic, kind of like the Yankees and Mets in New York. Do you feel the Raiders kind of carving out a little bigger piece of the turf than they have had? Let's face it, it's always Niners country, but it seems like the Raiders are coming, man. You better watch out for them.
Right. I know it. You do need to watch out. They have a very talented group over there. I know I have a couple buddies over there that are playing with them, and they have a good football team, a talented young football team. So the Bay Area is definitely competitive. So we want to hold up our end down in Santa Clara.
I haven't been to the new stadium, although I was there for the Super Bowl, but I haven't actually been there for a home Niners game. I've been to a lot of games at Candlestick, and obviously, it was a mess for a multitude of reasons, but the home field advantage was pretty palpable. And it seems like it's a very different vibe at the new stadium, not as crazy, not as just different. Did you sense, or do you sense that on game day it's less of an advantage for the Niners in Santa Clara compared to the Stick? Because the Stick used to be a great environment.
Yeah, it was. It was a great environment. We've had some exciting games, I thought, down in Santa Clara, but I think we need to help more with building that, and winning some football games this year will definitely help that out. So the crowd has always been great to us. We just need to win some more football games.
And listen, you win, they cheer. You know that. You've been around long enough to know that. Bruce Miller of the Niners, their fullback, Tiki and Tierney.
Bruce, now, you wrote a blog for Chat Sports, and they do a lot of things. I know I did a session for them, Minds Behind the Game panel, but you wrote a blog from Conference USA to the Super Bowl. So, one, tell us about that, and two, this is a more interesting question for me, being a former tailback and loving my fullbacks because you took all my hits. How are you holding on to your position in a league that's trying to delete the position?
Oh, man. Just starting with the Chat Sports thing, I just recently did that with them, and just, kind of going through my journey and, where I've been and how I got to where I am now. But working through the draft, the combine, the lockout even was a difficult year. So just, going through some of those things and the fullback part, I came in hoping to be an outside back or defensive end. Never really thought I was going to put my hand down in the NFL, but maybe some outside backer. And, just got into San Francisco and really made the team playing special teams. So I had the opportunity to continue playing on the scout teams on both sides of, offense and defense. And then we had a guy go down and get hurt. Well, I was the next one in line for the fullback, so I just kind of got thrown into the fire. Luckily for me, I got to play for one of the best to ever do it, Tom Rathman.
Yeah, of course.
He was our running backs coach, so I had a lot of help there. And then you guys have got to see Frank Gore and how he ran the football. I had some of the best help in the NFL, so that transition was a little bit easier there for me in that regard.
Well, we didn't mean to skew it negatively, man. Just some issues with the Niners, but you handle like a big boy. Even though we both know that, let's face it, at some point you're gonna have to pick a quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't play with two quarterbacks there, Bruce.
It's a team in transition. We all know it. It is what it is. But good luck to you, Bruce. And yeah, for those who didn't catch that, Bruce played defensive end in college, and now he's a starting fullback for the 49ers, which is obviously it's hard to make the NFL, but to do it at a position that's not even native to you, that's commendable.
And you got to wonder, Bruce, if Harbaugh wasn't your coach. I mean, Bruce is the kind of guy who really appreciates max effort. If Harbaugh's not coaching, there's a chance you might not be in the NFL. You probably know that, right?
Absolutely.
There you go. You still talk to Jim at all?
I have. I've spoken to Coach Harbaugh quite a few times after he left. And then, Yeah, we keep in touch.
He's awesome. All right, Bruce, be well, buddy. Have a good training camp and have fun with Chip. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Be good,
Appreciate you
Bruce.
having me.